What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the DigiTavern. I am J114, also known as Juani. This is Fredo, also known as Databots.
Hello.
On today's episode of the DigiTavern, Databots and I, we're talking QuakeCon because we just came off of QuakeCon 2019. Databots, Fredo, let me get a whoop. Give me a whoop.
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 Let's get into it, bro. The
Spit
intro.
that shit.
Barkeep, pour me a drink.
Hey Bar, spin that shit.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about QuakeCon. What is QuakeCon? For those of you that do not know, QuakeCon is an annual convention based out of Dallas, Texas, where me and Juani are from. It's considered one of the biggest LAN parties in the United States. QuakeCon has been active since 1996, about 22 years now. It's a really cool place where devs collide, gamers can come watch panels about their favorite games like Elder Scrolls Online, Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake, Fallout. And this year it was Drawny's first year attending the BYOC. The BYOC being the Bring Your Own Computer, where we just set up a big old LAN party around 2,500 people. I think it
was more than that this year, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty big. And it's really considered like the Woodstock of gaming. Place for peace, love, and rocket ships. And that's really what QuakeCon is. So we do it every year, and we're gonna talk about it now. When we talk about QuakeCon, there's almost like two parts to it. There's the QuakeCon, like conventions, event floor, panels, all that, and then there's also the BYOC section, where you can come in, set up your PC for 3-4 days, and just play video games, play games with other people, do whatever you want in there, chug a lot of balls.
See, that's an inside joke, because if you go to QuakeCon, you know what that means. Because there's literally a balls chugging contest.
Yeah. One of the things that happens a lot too at the BYOC is the ugliest keyboard competition.
No way.
Yeah, we didn't see it this year, but a lot of years like they'll have these really nasty keyboards. I don't know what these guys are doing. Like I think one time.
Oh, you know.
I think one time one guy was like putting out his ashes, like from his cigarettes, on his keyboard.
I thought it meant something else.
Oh no,
it's disgusting.
It's worse than that.
That's gross.
And I think he won, and like the winner gets like a new keyboard.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, they have a lot of small little competitions that if you're not really active in it, you'll miss them, like because they just happen in a flash.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the thing that kind of went down. Like, it seemed to all happen pretty quickly.
But it's really cool. BYOC, I've been doing that. Man, I'm trying to think back exactly how long I've been doing the BYOC. It seems at least 6 years. But I have been going to QuakeCon for about 7 or 8 years now. Like I know there's a couple years that I went where I did not do the BYOC. So yeah, it's been quite a while for me.
Yeah, so between both of us, like Fredo here is the veteran as far as like going to QuakeCon, and I know like when I first met Fredo, like him and his friends were already doing it. They had been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I think at one time you were supposed to go. You had a ticket to go, but
yeah,
you had to
no,
work
like
or something.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. So that was probably 2017 when I was supposed to. So that was probably like a year after knowing you. Like, because I think we met like in 2015, 2016. Um, and then like we started playing games together and all that stuff. And then you like, you should go to QuakeCon. And I was like, yeah. And I bought a ticket. But I had just started a new job and
Life.
didn't get the time.
Oh yeah, we talked so much shit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I would too. Shit.
all we did was like, well, we might as well put all our backpacks and stuff on his desk.
Yeah, because you had an empty seat next to you. Yeah. So I mean, like, but that's like, I don't know. Like, QuakeCon is just like, it's so big. It's just, I don't know why I haven't been doing this for a while, but going to like into the more details about QuakeCon, like, so you've been doing it for about 6 years. Over the time that you've been there, what really has changed about QuakeCon? Because I've heard plenty of stories from you and David, and I kind of expected to like see like a flurry of like big people here, and it's not exactly what I saw. Like, what's changed about QuakeCon over the years?
You're talking about like fat guys? Is that what you're talking about? Like a flurry of big people?
No, like big people, like people who are really important to.
Like for the industry and stuff.
Yeah, to the industry. Like, I didn't see a lot of those people.
Well,
Maybe I just wasn't looking.
I think you just weren't looking. Like we were standing, like feet away from like a lot of big people. Like that one dude from Funhouse. He was there. I walked right past him. I waved at him. I was like 2 feet away from him. And the years before, if you guys know who Adam Sessler is.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
Like
I didn't see him at all.
I've seen him. No, I don't know. I didn't see him this year, but I've seen him a lot. At one point, I even like shared a elevator with him, so we just kind of talked a little bit. Embarrassing story about that is when I had my wireless headphones. So I had my headphones on my head while I was talking to Adam Sessler, and he was probably thinking like, "This fucking nerd, look at this guy,
fucking nerd, dude.
this guy,
It's fucking weeb."
like, God, don't talk to me right now, you know." But
Can't even take off your wireless headphones to talk to Adam frickin' Sessler. What's wrong with you?
yeah, whatever. Probably why he bolted out of the elevator once it opened.
He's like, "Oh, get me away from this fat guy."
But so yeah, I met Adam Sessler. There's like people like Todd Howard is there all the time. Pete Hines, like they're just walking around. Like you just bump into them walking up and down the halls. You know, Tim Sweeney, or I forget his last name. He was there this time. I saw him.
Like I will admit that like I was kind of hopeful, like super hopeful to see Baby Daddy, which is like the nickname for him on Tumblr, which is Todd Howard. Like, I really wanted to see him, just because like I know how active he's at these kind of things, but this year wasn't that big of a year for anything Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, and this year we also didn't go to many panels. If I'm being honest, we normally hit up a lot of panels, and that's where they'll be at. You know, and you run into them just on your way to the panel or something. Like I've seen Todd Howard several times.
Baby
already.
Daddy.
It's funny because a lot of times it's been I guess 2 or 3 times that he's come on QuakeCon. He's always like, "Oh, sorry, I'm kind of sick right now. Pardon my voice." And then he talks like normal. I'm like, "What?"
I'm hoping that like next year
Next
is
year.
a big Elder Scrolls year. Because if it is like I think it should be, then he'll definitely be there. Because he's not so active with the ESO, with the online. That's kind of like ZeniMax's thing, and they've got like crap load of devs that kind of work on that. And I know the main 4 people who worked on ESO were there.
Yep, I see them all the time too.
Yeah, because I watched that panel through Twitch when we were at the BYOC, and but I mean like those aren't my heroes. Like they're great, you know, but like Todd Howard is Baby Daddy. So like that's kind of cool because like I mean like part of these conventions are to be able to like it's like you said earlier, to commingle with the developers of these games, and you want to kind of feel like you're a part of this kind of community-based environment, and that's why like that's interesting. Like that's why like running into devs is kind of awesome. Like having stories of like running into people that you know are in the industry make you feel a little closer to what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty. That's
Like,
pretty
these are
dope.
people who make the games that we play. Basically.
Yeah, and that's big time. And let's to be clear, like they did have like I know Elder Scrolls Online had the like doing dungeons with the devs, and they do that pretty often, which is pretty cool. But I just
We also missed a few things. Like they put out like a Twitter post or something saying, "Hey, sign up for this, and you have you get to have lunch with us with the devs from ESO." And I tried to go on there. By the time I clicked on it, it was already like sold out.
Full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even they weren't even selling anything. It was just RSVP was full.
yeah.
And I saw it literally like an hour after they posted it. So I was like, man, But
Well, that's a good thing though. Like honestly, like it sucks that maybe we didn't get to go, but it's a good thing because that means that QuakeCon is still like a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's still popular.
Well, yeah,
And
I mean, like,
ESO is leading that charge right now, or at least in that department.
yeah. And you asked me what changed earlier. Honestly, a lot of things have changed. First, there was like, I think at one point before I started going to QuakeCon, the convention was held in Grapevine at Gaylord, which is where it is now, but it went from there to the Hilton Anatole in Dallas, like downtown Dallas area.
Yeah.
And it went from there. Now it's back over to the Gaylord. So that's changed. Like the venue location has changed. I see a lot more. Not a lot more. A lot more. I see a lot more like girl gamers, honestly, or a lot of girl participation than I used to. It used to be just like a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of sweaty nerds.
Yeah, that's one.
Well, that's
like the smell
a
in
big
there has
change,
not
yeah.
changed. But like,
Well,
yeah,
that's a big change.
That is a
though.
big change, and it's pretty. I like watching. Okay, that sounds kind of creepy, but like I like overhearing like girls or something talking about video games. I'm like, cool, tight.
Well, it does sound creepy because you said it, but but I get what you mean though. Like, it's a change, and it probably does sound. It's really cool to know now that the gaming world is not. It's inclusive now for everybody and everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's before it used to be like, oh, that's a boy thing. Like not necessarily. Like now it's the community has grown to where it's like everyone feels like they have a place and stake with gaming. Like that's a good thing. And I get what you mean by saying like, oh, I like listening to girls talk about video games. My name is Databots.
Oh my god, you made me sound creepy as hell. But that's not even at all what I meant.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna play it that way. But no, I totally get it because like that was a pretty big deal. Like that's a big change that's happened over the last can we say like
15,
20 years now?
15,
Like
20 years. Here's the reason why it's like prevalent in my mind is because when I was like in high school and middle school, like most of my friends that I had were women. Like I had a lot of girlfriends, not girls friends, but girlfriends that were girls. I just connected better with them, and like one of the things that always like that we could never really talk about was like video games, because they would never be interested in them. But yesterday I was talking to a girl about video games. So it was interesting, like at a bar while we were drinking. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the cool thing about like what's changed lately. Like, and that's not really so much QuakeCon, but that's just kind of like the gaming scene. Like, gaming is now open for everyone, and that's kind of like that's a beautiful thing because like we can play with whoever we want to play with now. Like, it's not like it's not a boy thing, it's not a girl thing. It's you do whatever you want to do. I mean, like you play what you want to play.
Yeah, from the creative perspective too. Like I want to see. Maybe there's a other side of gaming. Maybe there's
Oh man, if I could see Jade Raymond at any point in my life, oh god, that would be amazing.
Highlight.
Like, I would be a highlight.
So she's
because
working
it's
on the
like
next Skyrim 2.
Is
No.
she?
Just
Oh my god, that'd be
I
amazing.
know. I think you'd probably die.
Cry. Oh man, that'd be awesome. But that's like a credit to like when Raymond hit the scene. Like she hit the scene with like Assassin's Creed, and like that blew everything up for like her. And she's just this huge entity now. At least in my mind, she's a huge entity because she created one of my favorite games, and she started it off so well, and she's just moved on from there, which is a great thing.
All right, so yeah, bringing it back to what's changed about the QuakeCon itself. So there's more women presence. It's the venues have changed. It's gotten bigger.
Female gamers. Well, now you can't say gamer girls because people are going to assume it comes with bathwater.
That's why I say women gamers. It seems respectable enough.
Gamer girl bathwater. God, I just can't. I can't anymore.
You're just jealous because you didn't get any.
No, if anything, I'm jealous. I'm not selling my own bathwater.
No one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
So another thing that's changed too from QuakeCon, it's gotten bigger. Like there's more. I feel like Bethesda is investing more money into it,
which is a great thing.
Yeah, like there used to be it used to rely heavily on like sponsors. Sorry, wow. Sure. Yeah, they used to rely a lot on sponsors. So we'd have just random, like there would be random like tents for, let's say, Alienware. Alienware would have like a big old tent where they're showing off their biggest computers, the best stuff. And then you'd have another thing like Toyota or something would be sponsoring a car. So there'd be a car there and you could win a car. I remember that was a big thing. Like every year people would walk out with a car. Like one person would walk out with a car, brand new car. So it was pretty cool. But it relied a lot on sponsors. And one of the things that I've seen changed is now it's more like Bethesda has the biggest booths. Bethesda has like the most presence there. And
that's probably a tribute to how successful they've become over the years.
Yeah.
And like they don't need that anymore. Like they can do it themselves. So like that's a good thing too. Like that's a big thing for Bethesda growing their brand and all that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But I do you would have some random stuff sometimes. Like it'd be cool. It'd be cool too.
I mean, there's still some random things around. Like we got to see like that. What is that? Like that milligram weight mouse that.
Oh, the lightest was, like, mouse in the world. Lightest gaming mouse.
I mean, there are plenty of like things like that. Like the show floor, I don't know if that's bigger than what it used to be or smaller than what it used to be, but it seemed like a decent size.
It was pretty small. This year was bigger. The area was bigger. Everything. QuakeCon changes almost every year. Like it's never going to be the same no matter what year you go to. The only thing that stays the same is kind of like the traditions that you want to set for yourself. Like one of our traditions for the BYOC is like we each get to pick somewhere where we eat, or we decide if we want to sneak in some liquor in there because you can't really take none in there. But like, yeah, there's just it's more about going every year, playing with your friends, setting up your computer, playing video games for 3 or 4 days, just having a blast. Half the time we're not sitting there playing games, we're just out and about. Just talking, hanging out, drinking, and chilling. One of the things I didn't do this year, which I normally would do, was I'd go out to the smoking section.
Gross.
And it's honestly, it's a really cool place to meet people because everyone in there is like friendly and stuff, and that's where I've met a lot of people.
It's a smoker thing.
Yeah,
sure.
But like I stopped smoking, so I didn't have a need to go there this year. I did miss that. I probably should have popped in there at least once. Just
had a cigarette, just pop one of those bad boys in there, light it up.
But yeah, it's just the traditions that you set for yourself. that I do enjoy most about QuakeCon.
Yeah, and I think now that with this being my first time, at least for the BYOC, like I think now I think we're heading towards maybe a new chapter of QuakeCon to see how things are going to be going forward. Because even after we left, like there were already talks about like what are we doing next year? Like we're growing this. Like what's gonna change?
Yeah.
If we're doing the podcast and all that stuff, like the DigiTavern could be a thing in a year, and it might not. But even if we're still doing it within a year, like we could literally be there as the DigiTavern, and we can have all our friends with us and people that we may or may not know with us. Like that's kind of a cool thing that's kind of growing just after 1 year. And traditions may change, but
Yeah.
BYC will always be there, and we're gonna probably keep doing that. And for it being my first time, at least, like I've only ever been as like a general admissions kind of person, which is not nearly as fun as actually being there, as having a badge. So like that. So this year was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed it, and I don't know. And I've had this kind of like conversation with myself before, because I always feel like I overhype gaming conventions, and that's kind of because of how I feel, how they've been like kind of broadcasted. And I actually, on our website on the digitavern.com, in our blog spot, I actually did a small little entry about this. I kind of feel like a lot of the things that I hold conventions up to, like on a pedestal, is because of all the broadcasting that I've seen on like Twitch, and back when like G4 TV used to host E3. Like I saw all these amazing things. I was like, oh, a convention's gonna be sick. Conventions are what you make them.
Yeah.
And I think this year I made this convention what I could with our group, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to have a group experience, and I think for the most part we had that, and I think that was cool. And I think like I'm ready to go back. Like it's, I don't know, we got like a full year, because next year it's in August, right?
Yeah, they already announced the date.
I think next year it's going to be like in August, early August, like maybe like the 7th to the 10th or something like that. But I'm excited. Like I'm ready to go back and to finally be able to like get my computer there and sit down and just kind of play games and whatever. Like that was awesome. I want to play more games, but
Yeah, well, I think one of the big things, and it's kind of like something I'll recommend for anyone who wants to go. Do stay at the hotel that it's being hosted at.
if you can get the room,
if you can get the room, yeah, like it's a big difference, because you do waste time going from back to the hotel and coming back if you don't stay there. But like when you do stay there, and you can go and game for like 6 hours, and you're like, man, I'm gonna take a break. You just walk
awesome.
back to the hotel for a little bit, relax,
Yeah.
maybe drink some more, and then you're ready to go back. But when you don't stay there, there's charges, parking, all sorts of stuff that goes into play that makes you just want to stay there for extended periods of times, go back to the hotel for extended periods of times, and all that. But I mean, you should just treat it as you're doing what you want to do. There was 1 year when we went, and like we saw people set up next to us, and we never saw them again for the rest of the time. I think we saw them like once or twice playing games, but they still looked like they had a blast. So it is what you want to make it. And that's what I like about QuakeCon. You just go there, do whatever you want, like normal, but you can play video games with your friends when you want to. So let's see, what some of the highlights for me for the moments that I've gone. One of them was meeting Adam Sussler, probably thinking that I'm a noob. Another one for me, probably seeing Todd Howard. One of the times that he was there, we all got like these Pip-Boy face masks, and we all put them on, and like he came on stage and he was freaked out. He's like, this is creepy as hell.
Bet it was. Sounds creepy as hell.
Yeah. He took a picture. There's probably out there on the internet. Probably on his
Gotta
Twitter.
find it.
Yeah, probably on his Twitter. He took a picture of like everyone in the stands, like, with the masks on. It was creepy. Another thing, another moment is a little more personal, but like one of my friends. Like I finally got to go with some like more than one person because I used to only go with like just me and my buddy Matt. But then one year, like I looked and there was like 4 of us there. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome, you know. So going with more people constantly, this seems to be like more people adding on, wanting to go. That's another highlight for me. Actually, having more people that I know that are interested in the same stuff that I am.
Yeah,
That's always cool.
That makes the experience better. Yeah.
There's one year they had a shrine for Harambe.
God.
That's one of my favorite things too. Like everyone would go by and like leave like potato chips or pizza or stuff like that.
Oh my god.
And he had like there was like a big old cutout. We had like those fake candles. It was just like a shrine for Harambe. I remember that. That was fun.
That's the internet. That's the internet for you.
Yeah. There was another one like that once, where they were giving out these flyers, and then and everyone would like pick them up and like do a shrine or something on the wall for it. It was ridiculous. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. There's a lot of inside jokes that happen when you're there, like the whoop. I don't know where that started. But just someone started saying that, and you will not stop hearing people saying that throughout the whole convention.
It's great. It's like what David said. It was like the mating call of the BYOC, and that's pretty cool. I like that's something that like you hear that you just kind of like it rejuvenates you. It's like, oh right, I'm playing games for like 8 hours now.
And you could also hear people go to the Little John. What? Yeah. That's a big one too.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that you can only experience if you're there. So I recommend anyone who's listening. We will be there next year.
Hell yeah!
So
let me see.
If you want to go next
year, have a
year,
banner.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. You'll easily be able to find us.
It's gonna be great.
So what about for you? Like this is first year really attending the BYOC, right?
Yes.
How did it feel, or like what are your final thoughts on it?
Man, I enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed it so much because like since I've been back into PC gaming, like I think those are the things that I miss the most about gaming when we were like kids, like going to each other's houses and playing video games with each other. So basically, like I get to do that now as an adult with my friends, and I get to like set up and do all those things. Like that's cool to me. Like sure, David's watching like Marble Olympics and anime, but that's fine. Like I'm not here to judge you. Like you do what you got to do, but you know, I sat there and played whatever games I was playing. Like that's part of it. Like that's fun. It's maybe not a traditional LAN, but someone somewhere is landing, and that's all in good fun, man. Like I'm excited to go back. So
that's cool.
I'm ready to go back again though. Like
yeah, that's how. There's also this thing.
Gotta get better seats though. Like that was one of the things. Like
what's wrong with the seats?
No, I mean like after a while, like my ass just started to hurt.
Oh, I thought you meant like seat locations.
Oh, the seat location was also kind of terrible because we were so close to each other.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Not like us, but like the people behind us.
I have like for sure. I think next year I'm gonna get us like next to like one of the end aisles, so we can lean back as far as we want and not have to worry about people, you know, coming up to us or bumping into us.
If we wanted to do like a banner and all that, like we have to find like a decent location, and then we got to get there kind of early to set that up and be able to like not have it in the way of anything we do.
Mm-hmm.
But
you gotta learn how to make a banner.
Oh, those banners are super easy, man. Like they were putting together like a PVC pipe. I got that stuff in the backyard. But I mean, like that. Yeah, that was cool. Like those seats did hurt though. Like after like 4 hours, like you're just like rocking back and forth on your chair because like your butt hurts. And I'm like,
yeah. Why do you think I was trying to buy that seat cushion?
Yeah, that was rough. But then you found that seat cushion.
It didn't help that much. I'm gonna be honest. But I think I found it because it was like legit the last day. So my butt was already like hurt.
Gone. Yeah. A lot of sitting down, which is rough, but you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'll probably just buy 2 seat cushions next year.
Oh my god. Could you, just in case you wear one out?
Yep. No, we're talking about stack them on top. Stack them on top of each other.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait. Like, it's gonna be cool, especially if we get more people, and that'd be great, I think.
Yep.
One more year. But yeah, man, that was QuakeCon 2019, and we know the dates for QuakeCon 2020, and I think we've got a good amount of people who want to go next year with us. So, and
we're also gonna do like small lands. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's that one that we're trying to do in a couple of
it's called
days?
Crit Gamer.
Crit Gamer.
Me, Matthew, and I think David went once. It's like in Tyler, Texas. It was really cool.
Which is not too far.
It's not too far, but it was really cool when we went. It was a little bit more of what I believe QuakeCon was when it first started out. Like, it was just literally in a church, and everyone there, like, I met the people running it, like, right off the back. As soon as you walk in, you know, shake hands with them and like, hey, how's it going? Like, it's just smaller. There's a lot of, like, legit, they gave us games. I remember that. Like, they gave us, like, hard copies of games that they just had laying around. It's a little bit more community focused because it's just so small.
Yeah. And that's cool because, like, that's a more intimate setting of, like, what a LAN is. But we do need to make sure to see if we can get our seats, because last time I checked, there was, like, 25.
Yeah, I'm going to do it probably right after this.
Nice.
I know Matt already got his, I think.
Oh, sick. Yeah, so, I mean, the plenty of things are coming up as far as, like, the small lands and things like that. We got plenty of things to look forward to this year. Even though QuakeCon is out of the way, our conventions don't stop there. We've got BlizzCon in November, and I'm excited to go back. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Buy tickets for the plane, though.
Well, at least we got the hotel. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. And we have a hotel that we don't have to bounce around, which is great. And then I've got, in March, I've got South by Southwest Gaming Convention, which is something I go to, that I've been going to since it started back like 3 years ago. And I'm going to do my part. I really want to try to go to PAX South this year. Like, that's in January. So, like, really, really want to go to that in San Antonio.
There's
like
also DreamHack is in Dallas now, too.
Is that this year or is that next year?
Next year. It already happened this year.
Yeah, we got to do that one, too. Like, that's going to be fun. Just because we have a lot. And then there's ReaperCon, which is, like, for D&D.
I heard about
miniatures.
That.
Yeah, the Reaper miniature minis that they make for D&D and Pathfinder and all that. Like, one of the biggest producing miniature companies based out of, like, Garland, Texas, or Richardson. And they have their convention now, so that's gonna be cool. I want to go to that as well. But we have plenty of things to look forward to.
Yeah, there's plenty to look forward to, plenty to do.
Lots to cover.
Lots to cover, yeah.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited. This year's gonna be packed, man. I'm pumped. I'm jazzed.
Jazzed.
All right,
Well,
Fredo. This was a good conversation, man.
Yeah.
Getting our podcast coming out. We're gonna start shooting for Tuesdays, putting our podcast out on Tuesdays. But you can always find us on our social media. That's, for me at least, it's JWAN14 at Twitter's. Databots, yours is just Databots, DATABOTZ. You can also follow our main Twitter handler.
You said that.
I know, right? I said that so wrong. You can find us at our main Twitter handle, which is the DigiTavern, and you can find us there. Give us some follows, give us some likes, give us some retweets. We need them. We want to get this out there. And also check out our website. We have a blog spot, and we'll be uploading pictures of a lot of different things that we're working on. Like, I took a ton of pictures of QuakeCon, and I'm ready to post those suckers up. So check those out. And also just kind of follow our podcasts. We're now available on Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're waiting on approval from Apple and Google Play, but hopefully they'll allow us to do our thing there. And Podcast Addict, which is also pretty cool. So follow us there, listen to our podcast as much as possible. I'll be coming out with some stuff later on between weeks, between sessions with me and Databots. So you can always find something that I'm talking about in my little section. And same goes for Fredo when he's able to put some stuff out there. So like, subscribe, follow, do what you got to do. We'll play our outro music. Dadabots, you got anything to say to the nice people out there in the world?
No, just maybe hope to see you at next QuakeCon.
QuakeCon!
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Let's play the outro music. Let's go home.
We don't have an outro music.
I'm working on it. Shut up.
All right, let's do it.
Shut up.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Oh, wait. Damn, I did Age of Empires again. That's all I know.
Man, we're more unarrhythmic than...
Adam's lovemaking? Oh, we'll see you later on the DigiTavern.
Wow.